Hello and welcome to Brotakus, but not really Brotakus, because we're talking about Rick and Morty this week.
Not tacos.
Rick Tacos.
Show me what you've got.
Rick Tacos.
Rick Tacos.
His last name is Sanchez. So
Oh, shit.
boom. We just broke Rick and Morty immediately. Normally, guys, we get together on Brotakus and discuss anime, but this week, like I said, we are going to be covering Rick and Morty. So let's go ahead and get into it. First, let me introduce my co-host, Chris.
What's up?
How are you?
I'm pretty alright.
Are you?
I'm here.
That's good.
Yeah.
James.
Hey-oh.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
How
This
you
isn't as high pitched
Hello.
as hi, you know,
How are we doing, everybody?
functioning as it was last time.
Yeah, it happens.
And then Anthony.
Hey guys.
I don't like that
That's
voice. I don't like it one bit.
Is it because it was a southern voice? Is that it? Are you racist, boy?
No, it's because
Now I'm going to talk in this voice the whole time, Matt.
he sounds like an old lady who, you know,
Why are you doing
always
the,
at the farmer's market.
Why are you doing the JFK like?
I mean, that's just
swingy face?
general president
That-
hand. And that's just the way my hand was at the time.
When Matt,
It
when I
might be a
started
general
doing hand
president hand motion. It is not a Trump hand motion. The Trump hand
Yeah,
motion
that's
is
two
the-
okay
The,
signs.
the two okay signs. The bigly hands, as I like to call them.
The bigly hands?
Bigly. It's something he said before.
big
We're
league-
not getting into
Big league chew hands.
Okay.
That's what they're called.
but yeah, when Matt does a voice, he has to do the hand motions. Otherwise, he's not doing the voice right.
Exactly.
You see, every time I see that little like fist with the tiny little like put up thumb,
thumb
all
poking
I
up.
can think about is the way that JFK talked and all that good jazz.
See, I always think Clinton. I always think, I did not have sexual relations with that baby. Take that shirt off. Let me see them things. That's always where my mind goes. It's immediately just like,
Can I just say, this is a hardcore sidetrack, but on one of the bathroom stalls that I've been in recently, there's a thing that says, Hillary sucks dick. And in my mind, I'm just thinking, clearly she didn't.
No, Monica does.
it's solid. It's solid. So, Rick and Morty season 3, episode 2 has officially come out, and we're going to talk about it a little bit.
Say something.
So first thing first, I'm the realist. Second thing second. Let's go around the table and just say how we felt about the episode in general.
I thought it was pretty solid.
I liked it pretty well. Wasn't quite as good as episode 1. Episode 1 was amazing, but this was still a really good episode, and I liked it quite a bit.
It's okay.
Felt like it was fine.
I think my problem that I had with
Two
it is I
thumbs
kind
up.
of watched it in two separate settings in the wrong order.
The same way we watched the first episode because it was looping
Yes.
through.
Well,
Adult
it
Swim?
kind of worked with the first episode.
Yeah, it does.
But I'd come downstairs and I picked up the episode about halfway through.
The
Is it
episode.
because you had to take a shit? Gotta go shit.
Oh, I actually needed something to drink, so I came downstairs and he was watching it.
Yeah.
And then I didn't catch the first half, so I watched it on the way here tonight, actually. So
There you go.
So, yeah, it was interesting.
I thought it was fine. I felt like it wasn't as hi-fi as the episodes that I traditionally like, but it was, I mean, it was whatever.
it wasn't a
nothing
weak
wrong with
episode anyway. It wasn't
Yeah,
like
there was
in
nothing-
Happy Park or some shit.
There was nothing wrong with it. But we'll get into it. So
Yeah.
let's go ahead and just dive straight in. So we now know how everybody felt about the episode. So let's go from the start. What the fuck happened in this episode again? I'm trying to remember.
Starts out
Start me
with
off, somebody.
They're in the garage and Jerry comes by.
garage. They just get back from an adventure or whatever.
Jerry's there.
Yeah, exactly. And
In
he's
his
walking
little
super
like
divorced.
leather golfer cap that he's
Yeah.
wearing because that's what you have to wear when you're moving,
Super divorced.
evidently.
Yeah.
It does if you do if you're Jerry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he then talks to Morty for a little bit or whatever, and Summer and Rick want to go on an adventure
Bounce?
to avoid
They're
this
just like-
Well,
discussion.
it's very obvious, like Summer sees it as like, just get me the hell out of it. I don't care what adventure we go on. Let's go. Poof.
Yeah.
Didn't you need me on an adventure pretty much immediately, literally anywhere but here?
Yeah. So her and Rick go ahead, hop into a portal. Him and Morty have a little bit more of a back and forth. Morty hops in, and then he goes to leave, and he has like a U-Haul, and the wind blows, and it says "loser." Yeah, we have, but
Hello, sir.
exactly. We need to make an
Hello,
edit.
sir.
We need to make an edit where it's Yuri Pazinski. But yeah, so from here they arrive in a Mad Max-esque alternate dimension.
And can I just say that I'm a huge fan of Mad Max, like all the Mad Max movies.
Oh, yeah.
That is one of the things I did like the most about this episode is that general theme. I love anything like diesel punk post-apocalyptic. Let me tell you.
I have never seen a Mad Max.
I recommend that you start with Fury Road then, because I don't know how you feel about older movies.
I would I don't like older movies, but I would
watch Fury Road.
I'd rather make a movie called Mad Mix, and it's
Mad Mix.
it's about a man named Mix. He's just kind of mad, you know. He's just a little upset, yeah.
Slightly upset Bob.
Upset Maxwell.
Excuse me, friend. You know, I don't like the way you're talking to me right now. But you know, you probably had a rough day. You know, it's fine.
Not taking all gasoline.
Have a good day, mate. Peace.
Ladies and
You
gentlemen, that
dickhead.
was a synopsis of Mad Max by a person who has never seen Mad Max.
No, this is my remakes.
parody.
This is my parody,
parody.
mid mix.
Mad Mix.
Speaking of parody, we have to get on that other thing at some point.
The thing.
The abridged.
Oh, okay.
The thing.
We have to.
I had no idea what the fuck you're talking about. Parody. Speaking about parody, we got to get on that other thing. And I was immediately just like, for some reason, I thought pogo stick, and I was like,
No, the thing we were talking about. The thing we were talking about Sunday night.
yeah, I got you. I got
Okay.
you. So yeah, what happens in this episode after that bit? So like they're in
They're
their
getting
car and
chased
they're
by the-
getting
They
chased,
find
yeah.
the isotope, and they're about to dip
Isotope
out.
322.
Yes, 322. It's even more potent than some other isotope. I can't remember the number. of
Definitely
it.
376.
Oh.
Maybe 321. I don't know. It's higher. It's a higher number. What are we going?
Well,
it was
Is
like-
it lower numbers are better or higher numbers?
It's like 417. It makes
It's
417.
like 417 like 376 or something.
Yeah, it makes
Yeah.
So there's no
417
rhyme or
look like
reason to
36.
it at all.
No,
376.
it's one of those Rick being funny because he's obviously trying to say something smart that Morty is not going to get whatsoever type deals. But yeah, while they're getting ready to dip the hell out, Summer just grabs a shotgun and is like, hold my beer, y'all, watch this.
Basically.
Yeah.
So she shoots their leader.
Morty, shoot the one with the mohawk. They all have mohawks.
Yeah. So she shoots the leader's car and it flips over, kills him, right
He is still alive, so she shoots him in the face.
in the head. Yeah. So
he
In the
says,
face
"Kill
he
me."
does. And she's like, okay, but not because you told me to.
from there they go to leave, but the gang of ruffians have decided to invite them to join their clan.
And so they're all like confused as to why, and so it's like, basically they're pussies.
Yeah.
Yep. And yeah, Rick jumps on that in a heartbeat because he notices what are they carrying with them? Oh, it's
20-pound
a
glowing
20-pound thing of that isotope. Blah, 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 blah.
The poopatope is what I'm going to call it from
Poopatope.
here on now.
poopatope.
So they have a 20-pound thing of poopatope where Rick was willing to go through all this for a flake of poopatope.
Yep.
So this is the greatest name I've ever come up with for anything.
You also didn't introduce me as Armathy this time.
I'm
but
okay with it.
It's fine.
Armature.
Schmlangela? Schmlanathan? If anything, you'd be Schmlarmathy.
Schwarmathy.
Matt's very pleased with himself right now after that one.
Schwarmathy?
Yes, I'm Shawarma Anthony. Schwarmathy.
You made of meat?
So we can eat you? Speaking of that,
Please don't.
the grossest part of this entire episode is when they put the fucking arm on the plate or whatever for Rick.
And Rick's
And then
just
he's
like-
like, would you rather eat human flesh than fucking leave or
Explain
whatever?
what the hell
And
we're-
he's just like, he just grabs the bit. He's like,
He's like, no, and spits it back out.
All right, I'm level with you.
so fucking just gross.
Morty, you see the rock, Morty? We got to get the rock.
One of my favorite things is that he's just like, he commits. Like, that's one of my favorite things about, do you remember the episode where they infiltrate people's dreams or whatever?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And when he gets to like the sex dungeon and he's just immediately just like, Morty, we gotta integrate. And he like throws his clothes off and he's just like, I'll see you after lunch. And he just like runs off like almost naked, you know,
Yep.
with these dwarfs and shit. He just is willing. He's willing to go for it, you know?
Yeah.
Just rock.
Comes back later in a gimp suit.
Nipple clips and shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Imagine how scarred you would be if you see your grandpa just like run off butt naked and come back in a gimp suit like 5 minutes later.
is that not normal?
No, it's not, Matt. Do you need a therapist?
So from here, what happens?
He needs a therapist with a capital R.
I need a therapist, but that's not the reason why I need a therapist.
Summer says I'm gonna run off with these people because they're
The
gonna go.
Death Stalkers.
Yeah, the
They're
Death
gonna
Stalker.
go kill things that used to be human in a place that used to be called
Seattle.
Seattle.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they go off, and then Rick and Morty do the little bit that I was just talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it goes to Rick telling Morty how to distract him.
Yeah, he says, I need to steal that thing. I need a distraction. He then takes some tissue from a dead guy and uses that, like muscle memory or some shit.
Armathy.
To create Armathy, if you will, which is just a jacked ass arm on Morty that wants to murder everything.
No, that's
And
what
has
Morty
control.
calls him. Is
I'm going
Armathy.
to call him Murder Fist. Yeah, I don't care what Morty calls him. Morty's a fucking idiot.
Wait. We have a name already. The Tender Fister.
That's true. Does he use Tinder at all in this episode?
It's fine.
That's where he goes. He attaches to another man, and that man was the Tinder Fister.
Yeah.
After he
It
disappears.
came from the Tender Fister.
Dun, dun, dun.
So,
That was a weird episode. If you guys haven't seen that episode of Loud Table,
At one point.
it was a weird one. All right, so from here, Morty then goes to the Thunderdome,
the Blood Dome.
whatever, the Thunderdome, and starts fucking people up.
Oh yeah, just flat out murdering people. And then at first, I like the little fact that at first he's just like, "Stop! No! What are you doing? I don't want to do this. Run away!"
Then he gets into it.
And then he gets into it and he starts like just beating the hell out of this one guy and pretending it's his dad. And just like, fuck you, Dad!
Felt very much like it was treading the same water as Now We're Purging or Are We Purging Now or whatever,
Yeah.
where he's just like, he's so like against it at first, where he's like, no, I don't want, Rick, I sure don't want to fucking go killing people again. Look at me.
Oh boy, here I go killing again.
And then he gets, the suit, and then he just starts fucking people up or whatever.
Oh,
and he's
yeah.
like, fuck you piece of shit, blah, blah. Losing his mind. But from here, I'm pretty sure we cut to
Summer.
the summer scene.
Where
Yeah,
she's
with
walking with.
They're walking
Buckethead.
through Seattle,
With
blasting motherfuckers.
Buckethead.
And probably my second favorite line from the episode is when Buckethead, or Hemorrhage, I believe is his name, is sitting there talking about the boomy booms and the da-da-da. And Summer's like, did the boomy booms take away all your wordy word books too? And he's like, you mean dictionaries? He's like using all this like crazy like diesel punk post-apocalyptic words that you find in those type of movies and genre. And
I like how
to hear him
Matt's
is
just
like,
staring down them dipped holes, boy.
Oh, no, I'm looking at the audio levels.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
oh, am I being too loud?
No.
Good.
He wouldn't fix it.
He wouldn't give a damn.
Normalize. That's it.
Just fuck it. Fuck it.
That's
I know.
what
You
that's for,
already
yeah.
know James has a loud ass voice. Fuck it.
Listen, I make a lot of adjustments on the fly while we're recording.
This is true.
Y'all just
That's what a
might
sound
not
technician's
notice,
for, actually.
You
I'm on
know,
the other side of the table from you, and I can't see what you're doing.
I typically see them.
he sees my hand just shoot up every once in a while and go
Yeah.
over the knobs.
Yeah, we need to fuck with this one a little bit.
But yeah, you have that little the scene, and you see a little hint of Hemorrhage and Summer kind of getting a little bit closer.
You want to piss on him? Get out of my head.
Yeah, that was another line, dude. That I was just like, come on, Dan Harmon, like you're better than this.
But is he?
You made Community. And then from there, we go back to the Murder Dome where Morty's like super into the murdering.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And then Rick rolls up and he's like, hey, Morty, we should, go talk over here for a minute or whatever. And Morty's like, I don't want to leave anymore, Rick. Geez, no.
I'm starting to get a breakthrough here, Rick.
Yeah. Breaking through people's fucking skulls.
No, don't come
Maybe
near
we-
me. I'll
maybe
kill
we-
you.
Maybe we can just visit on weekends or go home to do laundry or something.
Speaking of breakthrough, since this is technically kind of a Brotakus, I've completely come around on the whole like Netflix anime thing. I watched Knights of Sidonia. It's fucking dope. So
I've yet to really get into it, but you already know that I'm not heavily into like mecha themed
That's fine.
animes, but still.
I have been sleeping a lot lately.
Good job, Matt.
and not
I've been
watching
sleeping
much.
a lot less lately
That's what I've been doing.
because work makes me want to die. So
Yes, man.
this thing needs to kick off.
So what I'm hearing is we need to take you through a portal to a post-apocalyptic land where you can get your rage out by beating people to death in the Thunderdome.
Can it be this world?
Maybe.
Can you just beat people
Ideally,
to death?
California.
Just beat all of California to death?
Not all, just a good portion.
Okay. Sorry to all you Californians out there.
From there, what happens?
Well, the
they-
sentient arm grabs a stone out of Rick's bag, and then they start like chasing his ass down the desert while Morty and Summer are trying to talk some sense into him.
Yeah, well, they're not talking sense. They're talking the opposite of sense. Hey, man, why don't we just just stay here and just sort all this out and blah blah blah. It's like, no, like we're in a weird post-apocalyptic murder world. Like, what are you talking about?
Why don't we not stay here? Why don't
Yeah.
we go back to our normal lives and maybe find a better world to go to?
Yeah, it's
Yeah, you guys need to cope with your parents' divorce.
yeah. So and then I like the fact that he's just like he does exactly what I feel somebody would have done in that situation, which is just like I have a portal gun. I'll just fucking leave you.
Like, fuck it.
All right, fuck it. I'm done. Fuck you. Like,
Fuck this shit. I'm out.
which I feel is exactly what I would do in this situation. I would have just been like, because immediately upon this happening, I was like, why doesn't he just portal out of there?
Yeah. Fucking leave them, yo.
Yeah,
Go get a new Morty and Summer.
Yeah, leave him for a little while. After a bit, they'll want
truth,
to leave.
truth be told, Rick, how many times have you done that before, huh? How many times you just went ahead and got a new
I mean, basically, you remember when they were in the box inside the box inside the box, and Morty's like, "I'm leaving, Rick. I'm going or whatever," and he's like, "I don't give a shit, go." And then he leaves or whatever, and then becomes part of the tree folk.
Yeah.
And then when they finally run back into each other, Morty's just like, "You gotta get me the fuck out of here, Rick. I fucking hate it. They're savages." Like,
Yep.
So yeah, I would
let Morty learn the hard way. Is what the lesson there is.
Yeah, and then if you remember when Rick in the same episode when he left Summer alone in that fucking car and she has a nervous breakdown.
Yeah.
You
The
know,
car keeps on
just leave
murdering
him.
everyone.
You know, just
Protect
leave him.
Summer.
Here's a follow-up question on that. If inside each of those batteries is another universe, why can't Rick just portal into them?
He might be able to. Might just have been easier just to hop in that bitch though.
Yeah.
Also, he's kind of got the whole alien thing motif, so he's got to have the ship.
Yeah.
So maybe he started doing that before he got the portal gun, before he made that or something.
Could be.
I don't know. This is all just none of this has
Yeah,
any
yeah.
evidence. Yeah, there's no evidence to support any of this, but just spitballins.
But yeah. Speaking of the portal gun, he portal guns his vehicle into the garage.
Yeah.
Where you get that one guy with the floppy boobs going, my blood is gasoline.
My body is chrome.
Nope, it's still just blood.
Yeah.
He meant Google Chrome.
Everything's chrome in the future.
My body is the best internet browser there is.
Everything is in fact chrome in the future.
Yeah, and then Beth walks in and is like, what the fuck's going on? Where are my kids? And he's like in a completely normal place. I haven't seen him. They're not with me. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
He then goes through the trouble of like making robotic kids.
Oh, I'm sure he has them sitting around.
He probably just has them like
In a closet somewhere.
He'd just back up Morty and Summer. Just
Besides like some
fucking
orange
yeah.
slices and like a bunch of empty beer bottles, you
Yeah.
know, and some, weapons grade plutonium or something like that.
Yeah.
And pictures of Unity. Because I'm sure he has pictures of Unity.
No, they would hurt too much.
Yeah.
And plus, he would need an entire photo book.
So he probably, he probably just has them laying around. He gets them powered on or whatever. And then they have a little bit of a family dinner together for a second. And Beth has a nervous breakdown.
And then he bounces too.
My favorite line, I think, is when Morty tries to be like, they try to make Morty talk like a kid, like how kids talk. And he's just like, man, don't even front, dog. Like, I'm totally over it, like legit, but in a healthy way. Don't even trip.
Reminds me of the Scary Terry episode where he's
Yeah.
in Scary Terry's dream.
Yeah.
And he's like, here, man, just have these pants.
Don't even trip,
Don't
dog.
even trip, dog.
We got you.
Yeah.
That's some of my favorite shit. I love it when Rick does it too. Basically, anytime they have somebody talk like that, I'm like, because you never see people talk like that in a TV show. Anytime somebody's talking like that, it's like The Wire, and like it's very much like a very intense drama scene. You know what I mean?
Matt, have you been watching a lot of The Wire lately? You've been
No.
making a lot of references back
I
to
just,
it.
it's just The Wire. Everybody
It's
knows.
The
I've
Wire.
never seen The Wire. I refuse to watch The Wire just because so many fucking people have told me, you have to watch The Wire, you have to watch The Wire, you have to watch The Wire. So now I can't watch it
What
ever.
is even The Wire?
I don't know. I've never seen it.
It's a drama about like gangs and shit like that on HBO.
Okay, I don't
It
need
was
it.
a whole thing. It was Omar Epps, I want to say, is one of the guys in it, and it's a whole thing. Peter Baelish, the guy who plays Peter Baelish, was in it, and
Okay.
it was a whole thing. If you go on HBO, it's on there.
Yeah, I don't need that in my life.
Let me tell you, the only thing I've ever watched on HBO is Game of Thrones.
I've watched a lot of stuff. I watched Bored to Death. I've watched Ballers.
I watched Westworld. Westworld was all right.
I still haven't seen Westworld. I keep meaning to get around to it, but then I'm just like,
I'm
I
not
didn't know that was HBO.
I'm not really like in like a drama mood right now. You know what I mean? Like I'm all about comedies for the past little bit. Like
I'm all about action-packed anime right now.
the last drama I was really into
And
was
male
like
figure skating anime.
And male figure
yeah.
skating anime.
Last like drama I was into was Black Sails. When I finally got around to watching the first episode of that, I was like, I'm in for this forever. And then it was ending as I was starting picking
Speaking
up.
of
Dude, Skull
male
and
figure
Bones.
skating anime, there is a Reddit thread that got started on something, and somebody had the word Yuri in their thing, and it wasn't about what Yuri actually means or whatever. But somebody's like, Japanese Yuri or Russian Yuri, and then somebody goes, "Did you make a pork cutlet bowl reference?" And I just commented below it, "Gusno."
That's a long story for very little payoff.
Yeah, so Rick and Morty. So Rick and Morty, what happened after that? So he goes back to the murder palace.
Murderland,
Yeah.
yes.
Between him coming back and the last thing we were talking about, though, Morty's arm sees some murders motherfucker he decides to kill. He kills that guy. He's like, man, I'll tell you where my boss is. He lives in the castle or whatever. And it becomes like this D plot that's like this revenge of this anthropomorphic arm, yeah, that's like going around murdering folks. He has a revenge that he has to do for his family.
Like this king sent that guy and he killed my family. Time to get revenge.
Yeah, Summer starts fucking Buckethead.
She gets a tattoo on her fucking face.
Yeah.
I hope that's permanent.
Oh, me too.
And then
The knockoff Mike Tyson tattoo she gets.
Yeah.
what happens after that?
Morty goes through and he's going through the whole murder rampage. He gets to the king and he's about to freaking the arm is like about to drown the dude. And
They have a
Rick
discussion,
just shows back. Yeah, they have a discussion
Yeah, he's sitting there
first.
just working on a table for his little gadgets and stuff.
Yeah, him and the arm have a discussion for a little while about him like leaving and how he wants him to stay, blah blah blah. And then the arm he's like, you know what? Fine, we both got to do what we got to do. Armathy or whatever.
Yeah,
Let's do this thing.
Armathy.
And then
No,
Armathy.
I got to deal with my parents' divorce, and you got to kill people.
Then Armathy drowns the dude to death, and then you hear a clink,
Sort of.
and it's Rick, and Rick's like, "Hey man, don't mind me. Y'all do y'all. I'm making a drink over here."
I love how Morty's shirt stays ripped for the rest of the episode.
Oh yeah.
I mean, yeah. What did you expect?
Well, no, like he goes back to normal life and it's still just a ripped shirt that he's wearing.
Yeah, he doesn't have time
he's
to
been in the
change.
wasteland until
He's been back. He's been back for 15 minutes. He doesn't have time.
Yeah.
Because they come back, destroy the robots, then immediately walk into the kitchen. Into the dining room, I mean. But yeah, so Rick's there. He's come back. He's like, hey, man, we got to get the fuck out of here. Like, y'all need to come home or whatever. Because, Beth, I am not dealing with this right now. So they do.
Well, they first Rick shows why he's wanting this because he sticks just a light bulb to the top of it and they power the hole.
Yeah, well, the rest of that scene plays out. The dude that was drowning didn't actually drown, and his arm's gone away. So Rick just goes and
helps.
Yeah.
just
Helps
helps
finish
Morty
the
finish
job.
killing him.
Now I'm an accomplice.
Yep. And so yeah, Summer's married Hemorrhage Buckethead, and Rick comes up with this idea. Well, he just shows these people that hey, this stone is like unlimited energy.
Yeah.
It's here. He's like, I tell you what, I'll stick around and I'll show you all how to do more shit with this. And
Suburban apocalyptic life happens.
Yes. And they're all just sitting there and
Watching the blood bowls.
watching the blood bowls, and Summer's marriage
Yeah.
turns to shit.
it's essentially Beth and Jerry's marriage.
Yo.
That's exactly Beth and Jerry's marriage.
So, yeah, so from there, they're just like, okay, well, now we get to go home. They go home. They,
Rick steals the stone on his way out.
yeah.
Yeah, he's like, I'm taking this shit.
they go home, they dismantle the robots, or turn off the robots at least, and replace them. Morty's robot almost achieves consciousness. Like
oh my
sentience.
god! Now that's my favorite line of the whole damn thing, though, right there, because he's like, "I want to live. I want to live. I don't want to just like put ice cream in my mouth and let it fall down my throat. I actually want to taste it. I want to live." Hello, and just walks out and leaves.
Yeah.
We'll be back. We're going to the garage. We'll be back, possibly in different clothing.
Yeah, and then they return to their normal everyday lives, and Morty and Beth have a back and forth. And then Summer goes to talk to Jerry or whatever, and gives him a mutant head that she killed a guy or whatever.
Yeah, the first mutant.
And then that's the end of the episode, except for the little stinger at the end where Jerry has a wolf approach him when he goes to his mailbox.
And the wolf wants his unemployment check.
Yeah. But that's the end of the episode. So, in a more broad terms now, what were you guys' favorites, least favorite parts? How did you feel about it as a whole?
I don't know. I liked a lot
Rated.
of the like one-off Summer lines this episode. Those are probably my favorites.
I like that Summer's got like a different attitude since the divorce because she's obviously kind of tore up over it, but doesn't want to show it.
Yeah.
She just wants to get
She's toughing up.
Compressed rage and feelings out in a
She
very
needs a purge.
violent
She
way.
needs a purge world.
Yeah. We all need purge world.
Mm-hmm. Why hasn't Rick just thought of that? Just like, here, Summer, take your fucking frustrations out here for a little
Oh, to be fair, technically this kind of was a purge world if you think about it.
There was no law.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess this was... Any world without any law, I guess, is technically a purge world. Except
Yeah.
it's not just one night. It's every night.
Yeah.
It's all nights. It's, in essence, they're a more pure purge world than the purge world they went to before because their purges are constant.
True.
So your favorite was the summer lines. What about everybody else?
The whole episode is pretty like just, I don't know. I didn't have a favorite or least favorite part. It was good the whole way through for me.
I can feel that. I too didn't have any that like super struck out at me other than the almost sentient robot Morty. That part I was cracking up over. A few other parts, kind of had me like laughing out loud pretty nicely. The actual, post-apocalyptic world scenes were fun. I liked them. But some of the funnier stuff that I found was just dealing with back in the real world, either with, dealing with Jerry or the robots or stuff like that.
Right. Yeah. I felt this episode was okay. I didn't really, nothing really made me like laugh or go like, that's really funny in my head, Everything was pretty normal. Like, it's like a couple of the other episodes where nothing, like, certain episodes are just kind of like,
They're
it's
good,
fine.
but not like great.
Yeah, it's like a lawnmower dog or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine, but nothing in that episode made me like go like, or like Anatomy Park. Like, Anatomy Park was a good episode. Nothing made me like lose my mind in it. Because I like I said, I like more like the hi-fi stuff. Like the first episode with Council Ricks was really good. With the Mortiest of Mortys. And then like my favorite episode is season 2, episode 1, where it's like at one point I want to say there's like 128 different timelines going on screen at the same time. And there's like, and that shit's just crazy and so hi-fi where it's just like, holy shit, I've never seen anybody do this. This is so conceptual and fucking weird and strange.
I think my favorite episode of all time is the Rick throwing a party episode.
Yeah, that's a good episode with Rudolph Linkler.
Yeah. Well, I just like the Rick dance scene.
Yeah.
They'll emancipate you from your inferior genes.
I also love the thing at the end with Rudolph Linkler where it's like those weird monsters are like shoving him and like the other dude around and the other dude's like, woo, woo. And he's like, are you enjoying this? And he's like, you know it, bro. But yeah, I like that shit. I also love like in that episode. This is another episode completely, but like I love when he's just like, keep your weird friends away from my friends, and he's like, fine, but keep your friends away from my canapes. What up, my glib globs? Don't let a Ralph Vorkian hear you say that. Why? Is it like their N-word? It's like their N-word had sex with their
C-word.
With the C-word, and it was raised by all the bad words for Jews. was great, dude. I love that episode's really
My
good.
favorite episode's the one where they have like the parasites.
Yeah, that's a really good episode
yeah.
too. That's
Or
really
Mr. Poopy Butthole.
so many of those
introduced.
characters I want to see again. Like I
Hammer
really
Eye.
want Hammer Eye, Amish cyborg, photography raptor. What are you gonna do when you cycle back into the world, Frankenstein? Shit. Rick, you love those barbecues, Rick. Remember it, Rick? All that shit's great. What's the one person that reverse giraffe?
Yeah.
I'm a reverse giraffe. You all know me. I have a long body and tiny legs and neck. I also love that that's like the president's voice. That's that one guy, the guy who I want to say he played Anderson in Mass Effect. Yeah. So that dude's just got like a really cool commanding voice. I don't know the actor's name. And like I love the fact that they used him as this little weird giraffe creature.
Yeah.
Pencilvester.
I want to go home with Gary.
Pencilvester.
Yeah, Pencilvester is great.
That was just a good episode overall.
You can't kill me, Rick. My name's Pencilvester. Just think of it. He's just like, you're right.
It's funny thing that you bring up that episode because
Kill Pencilvester.
I'm curious about what they're going to do this season in terms of the little breadcrumbs, because there's always there was kind of an overarching plot to season 2, and they left some breadcrumbs, like some serious like with that one episode, just the episode prior. You see Rick like dumping a bunch of crap into the garbage can, and they had those little parasites on them. And the next episode, we have that episode there with that stuff.
Yeah.
Do you think anything we've seen so far in episodes 1 or 2 may be a little breadcrumb to something happening later on? Like maybe that green stone. Are we going to see that pop back up? Maybe.
It's possible. I actually want to renege my statement I made a second ago, though, before we dive into that. Actually, that's my favorite episode conceptually is season 2, episode 1. My favorite episode entirely is the Unity episode.
Yeah.
Because it has a lot of heart. Like, it has so much heart and so much emotional impact that you don't really see.
It shows a different side of Rick.
Yeah, exactly. And I enjoy that quite a bit. Also, there's a lot of good one-offs. Like, the whole thing where he's just like, cancel it. Now bring it back. Now cancel it. Now make him have sex on the table. That's all Community references, and I love that. But yeah, so
I like the whole nipple civil war that they have.
Some first race war. Yeah. But yeah, so I don't know if there's a whole lot. I feel like there's going to be some sort of recompense from the first episode, I feel. I don't know what it is yet, but there's got to be something that's going to happen.
Yeah.
You don't
because
just
he's just at the exact same place he was before.
Yeah.
So they know where he's at.
Yeah, I feel like something's going to happen.
But he also blew up like
most of their government.
Yeah.
Maybe this is just a harebrained theory based off the 2 episodes we've seen. Maybe the remaining intergalactic government uses all its forces, brings all its teeth to bear to take down Rick, and Rick uses all the energy that's within the crystal to create a giant bomb that destroys the rest of the intergalactic government.
Maybe.
Boom.
Is that where you're hedging your bet?
No.
Okay.
We only have 2 episodes going off of right now.
Okay.
I can't.
Although I do like that because that big bomb could actually end up being the bomb from
The boom
episode
booms?
1,
Yeah.
season 1.
It's powerful enough it goes through multiple dimensions.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
It all comes together.
It's all full circle.
All these squares make a circle. All these. What is that from? Don't worry, it's not important.
No clue.
Anyways, so any closing statements y'all want to make about this episode or this season so far in general?
Season
I'm liking it.
Yeah.
So our season's good, yeah.
Season's
I
good.
dig it.
I can't wait to see the trans-dimensional TV show episode that they always do.
One thing I'm actually kind of worried about this season, I want to get your guys' opinions on this real quick, is going into this season, I'm a little bit worried about the season as a whole, solely because it's hit such mainstream success now. So the first season, obviously, no one gave a fuck about it. Season 2, nerds had watched it. Like, nerdy dudes I know had watched it. A couple people had watched it. But, like, not a whole lot of people were really into it before 2 started. Then once 2 started getting going or whatever, it picked up a lot of steam. By then, all the scripts were already written. It's already animated or whatever. So I was really worried coming into this that they would dumb it down
I don't think
and make it as
mainstream it.
easy to digest as possible.
I don't think that's what
I don't
Roland
think
and Harmon are gonna
Harmon
do.
or Roland would do it.
No,
I
I don't think they're that
I
way.
think that's what's taking them so long on writing this 3rd season is that they're trying to still keep it
So you say
in
that,
their mindset.
but like I was saying, hi-fi jokes, there hasn't been a whole lot of like super hi-fi jokes yet. Like even if you think of all the funniest moments from these past 2 episodes, none of them have been like some crazy like, you know, thing that not many people are going to get, like a lot of the previous jokes in previous seasons. Like the first episode, you know, I'm going to go take a shit or whatever. Anybody can get that joke. You know what I mean? And it's just like this episode, it's like, you want to piss on him? Get out of my head. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's very lowbrow, which there is traditionally very lowbrow humor.
There's a lot of lowbrow
in
humor
Rick and Morty, but there's
yeah.
also an upper level, like an upper echelon. It's kind of like Futurama, where it's just like, here's the base level that anybody can enjoy, but if you're a little bit smarter, you'll get that the movie theater is called the all-up nullplex, which is a small kind of infinity, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And like, so it's like, there's those nerdy jokes buried in, and I haven't really seen many of those yet in these last 2 episodes. So that's just a thought that I had while I was watching this episode.
I don't think it's going to be an issue.
I feel like they're going to use like these first 3 episodes to set up just the story, and then use the inner episodes to just kind of do their bounce around like they normally do, and then end it with
touch on key points here and there.
Yeah, and then end it with another story episode or 2.
We'll see.
I think that's where they're going, just to kind of keep a story going for people that want to watch it as a story, as opposed to just random sci-fi humor, because that's what the first season basically was just all over the place.
Well, you say that, but there's through lines in the first season that you can still trace through to the end of the second season.
True.
There's very much, I've seen a lot of interviews with Dan Harmon and Justin Roiland, and they have a story they want to tell, and they're just kind of dipping little bits. Like James said, they're dropping little breadcrumbs here and there and everywhere or whatever. In the first season, you get the shot of Rick and Bird Person with a kid that looks like Morty. You also in first season
that is Morty,
and then in season 1,
or a Morty at least.
Is it season 1? The interdimensional castle of Rick's is in that season, right? And that's when you get the shot of Morty as a baby that's Rick's picking up.
Yeah,
like those are definitely going to have payoffs. Those aren't just put in there.
No.
Right, but I'm talking more like this episode, the previous episode, and the last episode of season 2 were all very much a story altogether.
Yeah.
If you look at it. Not just this is foreshadowing on what's going to happen. This is just very much story-based episodes that are just trying to get through part of a story. And season 1, other than like the foreshadowing events, first episode really just kind of explaining why Morty doesn't go to school and just hangs out with his grandpa is the biggest.
To be fair, episode 1 is one of the best episodes of the show ever. Like the whole you gotta shove these crystals up your butt, Morty, is one of my favorite my favorite things. And then they're going through the interdimensional customs.
I want him to get back to that.
We're gonna scan
humor.
Humor. He's got to go through the new machine. What machine? The new one scans you, detects stuff, even the stuff way up your butt. Run, Morty, run! We gotta get out of here, Morty.
I want to get
such a
back
good
to more of the darker, more obscene humor.
I think they definitely will. They're not going to shy away from that because I definitely enjoy the dark jokes, like the King Bean guy.
Yeah, Jelly Bean.
King Jelly Bean, freaking rapist, child molester dude. They're still going to have those dark jokes. I have full faith in that.
I like a lot of the. I also like a lot of the one-off jokes in season 1. There was just a certain thing about some of those one-off jokes. One of my favorite things is Mr. Booby Buyer. Hey, I'm Mr. Booby Buyer, and I'll pay you 20 schmeckles for those boobies. Well, that's a polite offer, but I'll have to decline. That whole thing was great. Yeah, it's just so far this season, I don't know, there's these last 2 episodes, there hasn't really been a moment that's happened that I've just lost my mind and just laughed so hard. As in those first few seasons where basically every episode there was something for the most part. Of course, there was probably, I say almost every episode, but it was probably more 1 out of every 2 episodes. There was something that would make me just fucking lose my mind.
Well, here's the question: do you feel like
crazy.
It's the writing is changing, or do you feel like you're becoming more accustomed to it? So it's.
I feel like it's a combination of things. I feel like I've gotten a little bit more in that time period. I've become a little bit more desensitized to randomness. I don't like randomness at this point,
right?
In my writing, because the internet's so just chock full of people who are funny and famous because they're just so fucking random and crazy, and I'm just none of you people are doing anything to impress me or interest me anymore. So the random crazy throwaway one-liners, I'm not really feeling as much. What I think would make me really like the season a lot is if they dove more into Rick emotionally. Yeah. I feel more into his backstory and stuff like that, because that's stuff that I'm super interested in.
I genuinely feel like that's what we're going to be getting more of.
Yeah, so like that's what I really want to see. So it is a little bit me, but I also feel like just
It's a little both, a little comedy, a little comedy.
Yeah, it's just, the season's just getting rolling. Episode 1 was pretty good or whatever. This episode, like, is fine. Like, there's nothing that I can point to that I'm just like, I really don't like this or whatever. But nothing really hit home with me. Yeah. So I'm still just waiting for that thing that's going to, like, come through and he's going to hit me hard. Because the thing about Dan Harmon is I've been watching Dan Harmon stuff since Community. Yeah. What, 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago or something like that? So I don't think I'll ever get fully accustomed to his writing style or his sense of humor, because I've been doing it for almost a decade now and I still like it.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's just a little bit both. There just hasn't been anything that's really my cup of tea that's super hi-fi and crazy in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So who wants to put money on the table right now that Beth will come home with her assistant from the vet office?
Maybe.
Like as a boyfriend. Feel like
if you ever cheat on me with that guy, I will go to your hotel room and I will blow my brains out all over your naked body.
And that's how Jerry dies in season 3.
I think you can just go pick up another one from the Jerry daycare.
Exactly.
The Jerry daycare.
It's true. All right, guys, I do think that's going to wrap it up. Anybody have any last words they want to say?
No.
All right, well, then thank you for listening. This is a Loud Table Podcast production. We, part of Loud Table... Fuck that all. This is Brotakus. You don't normally close Brotakus. This is Brotakus. We're part of Loud Table Productions Podcast Network. We upload content 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. We have all kinds of content there. Go check out any of the other podcasts if that's what you're interested in. Check back next week and we'll be back to talking about anime. We haven't decided what we'll talk about, but we'll figure something out.
I'm going to make you guys watch Blame eventually.
Blame. So are we never doing that Gundam episode?
I don't care about the Gundam episode.
So I wasted 30 minutes watching something that I hated. That's what you're telling me.
We'll still do it.
Eventually.
I'm trying to get you and Underwood to actually watch Blame.
I actually saw it in my Netflix thing when I was scrolling through the other day, and I was like, I'm pretty sure this is the Blame, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure, like, I saw it, and I was like, I'm pretty sure this is the thing that Bogard wanted me to watch. And I was like, or I can watch 30 Rock for the 13th time. 30 Rock it is!
You should totally watch Blame so that we can do Brotakus on it.
We're part of PEEN. What does that stand for? Anybody who likes 30 Rock deep cuts will get that. That's exclusively for them.
I understand the reference.
But yeah, guys, so go check out those other podcasts. We'll be back next week with a normal Brotakus, back to our normal scheduling.
Absolutely.
What else we got going on? We just launched a new podcast, Mom's Friendly Robot Podcast. Go check that out if you like Futurama, because you're listening to this, and this is about kind of sci-fi stuff. Figure there's some overlap there.
Oh, yeah.
What else we got going on? You can email us. Tell us what you thought about this episode at loudtableproductions@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter, loudtableprod, P-R-O-D. Follow us on Instagram, loudtable_productions. We have a Facebook page, Loud Table Productions. We have a subreddit. We have a YouTube. Go check us out on YouTube. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Leave us comments and ratings and shit on iTunes and anywhere podcasts are done.
Should like this.
Slip into my DMs if you want the dick. You can follow me on Twitter. It's a perfect transition. At Gadross, this GADRYROSS.
I'm at Chris_Bogard.
I'm at Anthony Hagen 13.
And I am at the Wolf Among Us. That's Wolf with an E.
And my sexting account on Twitter is TinDick69.
That aside,
10 is in the metal. 10 is in the number spelled out.
Tin, T-I-N.
So metal dick.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Anyways, if you guys like this Rick and Morty episode, let us know so we can continue making more Rick and Morty episodes.
I love that you didn't ask for an explanation, which is great, because this is part of a running joke that I've done like a million times.
There's no explanation.
That about wraps it up, guys. I do want to thank you for listening. Until next time, I need a sign-off phrase.
Yeah, just make sure you keep sharing and supporting, because remember, if you keep supporting, one day, Senpai may finally notice us.
Wubba-lubba-dub-dub!
Go Snow!
How dare you?
I took it from you this time.
Dio! Peace.
Go Snow!